Warm greetings to one and all. This is me, Anand Krishna of class 12 studying in Civils Public School. Can you ever imagine a day without internet? Not exactly, right? Yes, we make use of internet in various ways, whether it be sharing files, sending mails, online banking. For various many purposes, we are dependent on internet. Do you ever imagine how actually internet works? If not, I'm here to help you. So today in this session, we shall learn how actually internet works and also about different communication media which is used for transferring data from one point to the other. So let's get started. Our main objective of this session is to learn how internet works and also to learn about the different terminologies which are associated with internet. Then we shall look into the several communication media which is used for transferring data from one point to the other. So how actually internet works? Imagine that if you have to send a mail to one of your friend or colleague, what will you do? You simply start up your computer and then connect it to the modem. So what happens is that every time when you connect it to the modem, your internet service provider actually connects your PC to a smaller network known as POP or point of presence. This POP or point of presence network is actually owned by the internet service provider. And again, this POP or the several hundred thousands of POPs are connected to a larger network known as NAP or network access points. And again, these network access points or NAP are interconnected to form a very large network known as internet. Now you understand how is internet organized. Now let us look at how actually are these networks interconnected. Now take a look at this image. There are several PCs which are connected to POP. This PC can be taken as an example of the PC which is at your home. And whereas these group of PCs are PCs which is at your company. So these individual PCs are together connected to a local area network. And this local area network is then connected to a smaller network known as POP or point of presence. At the same time, the PC which is at your home is also connected to POP or point of presence. And then this POP is connected to a large network known as NAP with the help of gateways. So gateway actually connects dissimilar networks together. And finally, this network access points or NAP forms the backbone of internet. To make you understand this more better, take an example of a tree. A tree may consist of fruits, leaves, flowers, smaller branches which are then connected to larger branches, and finally these larger branches are connected to the trunk of the tree. In this case, each computer is connected to POP with the help of gateways. So like in the tree wherein the flowers, fruits and leaves are connected to bigger branches with the help of smaller branches, these branches can be regarded as gateways. So gateway basically connects all dissimilar networks together. And finally, these bigger branches is connected to the trunk. In case of the tree, the gateway forms smaller branches, which is then connected to larger branches. And finally, in this case, NAP forms the trunk or backbone of internet. And finally, the whole tree can be imagined as an interconnected or interlinked network which is known as internet. Isn't that so simple? And now we shall discuss how actually our information is passed through this network. Internet follows certain rules and policies which are known as protocols. So with the help of two main protocols, that is Transmission Control Protocol or TCP and Internet Protocol IP, we share information through internet. So what happens is that the Transmission Control Protocol is in charge of actually converting the contents that you upload or download from internet into a smaller parts known as packets. So TCP actually converts whatever you share through the internet to a smaller parts known as packets. And finally, when these messages or these contents are converted into smaller parts known as packets, these packets are then efficiently carried through this internet with the help of Internet Protocol. Once TCP or Transmission Control Protocol converts these content into smaller packets, Internet Protocol is responsible for carrying this information or packets to its destination computers. And thus, when this content or these packets reach the end user or the final destination, it is converted back into the readable format with the help of TCP or Transmission Control Protocol. And now we shall discuss about the different terminologies which are associated with Internet. For this, again take an example of a tree. Each leaf, fruits or flowers which are connected to the smaller branches in the tree can be regarded as the nodes or individual PCs which are connected to Internet. And then there should be some point of relay or some point of physical contact between several networks, and this is achieved with the help of servers. So servers actually facilitate sharing of data and resources throughout the network. And next comes Network Interface Unit or NIU. So NIU is actually responsible for connecting each server to several nodes. So they actually consist of a unique address known as MAC address or Media Access Control address. With this address, each server is then connected to several nodes. As you can see in this example, the first half consists of the manufacturer ID and the next half consists of the ID number. With this unique 12-digit hexadecimal number, each NIU is connected to several nodes and they act as a link between servers and nodes. And next is IP address. As I mentioned earlier, IP address or Internet Protocol address is the physical address of each computer which is connected to Internet. And this address is provided by Internet Service Provider every time when you connect it to the Internet. And finally, we have the domain name. So domain name, for example, www.youtube.com. So the name that just comes after www. Is known as domain name, and this should be unique throughout the Internet. And this means that no other web pages or websites should be assigned with the names which are already occupied. If you understood how actually Internet works and how is Internet organized and how are information transferred from one point to the other, now we shall look into communication media, which is actually responsible for transferring signals or data from one point to the other or from one network to the other. Now let us look into it. So communication media is actually divided into two: wired or guided media and wireless or unguided media. In this session, we shall discuss about wired or guided media. So wired or guided media is divided into three. They are twisted pair cable or TPC, coaxial cable or coax cable, and finally fiber optic cable. So we shall discuss about them one by one. The very first one, twisted pair cable. Twisted pair cable is made up of insulated copper wire which are then twisted in pairs to form a single wire. And what is unique about this wire is that each wire is just 1 millimeter thick. And one wire is used for carrying signals, whereas the other one is used for ground references in order to secure the connection. And finally, these wires are twisted into pairs so that the signals do not intervene or interfere with the nearby signals, thus by avoiding a unique phenomenon known as crosstalk. So these wires are twisted into pairs so that they can avoid crosstalk, in which the signals do not interact with the nearby signals. There are several categories of twisted pair cables available, and they are divided into category 1 to 5 or Cat 5, and next is category 6 and category 7. So category 1 to 5 or Cat 1 to 5 is mainly used for Ethernet connections, whereas category 6 or Cat 6 is used for transmitting data up to 200 megabit per second for 100 meters very efficiently. And finally, category 7 or Cat 7 is used for transmitting data of higher speed, that is more than 200 megabit per second. And they are also available in two variables, and they are shielded twisted pair cable and unshielded twisted pair cable. As you can see in this image, the shielded twisted pair cable has a metal foil around it, and whereas the unshielded twisted pair cable lacks this. And why are they having this metal foil? Let us look into its advantages. The advantages of twisted pair cable or TPC is that they are simple to use and are inexpensive. This twisted pair cable is less susceptible to electrical interference since they are twisted in pairs. So this twisting helps them to prevent from overtorque, and also signals can be carried over long distances much efficiently. And this means that a single signal can travel kilometers without any amplification or regeneration. And when a portion of this cable is broken, the entire network is not shut. And that is why they are more convenient to use. But still, we got some problems. Shielded twisted pair cable or STP is larger and expensive as compared to unshielded twisted pair cable. And this shielded twisted pair cable is difficult to connect to a terminating block since they do have this metal foil around them, which makes them much heavier compared to UTP or unshielded twisted pair cable. And if line length exceeds more than 100 meters, there are chances that it might pick up noise or engage in crosstalk. Why? As I said earlier, in the category 6 twisted pair cable, a single signal can transmit up to 200 megabit per second for 100 meters much efficiently. And if the line length exceeds more than 100 meters, there may be some kind of glitch in the signals. And now we shall discuss about the second form of wired or guided media known as coaxial cable, or simply called as coax cable. This cable has a braided metal shield which makes them more stronger and can be used for transmitting data of higher rate, and they are mostly used for internet connections and cable TV connections. And this wrapping or this braided metal shield actually prevents them from engaging in any kind of crosstalk, and this wrapping provides not just rigid support but also prevent the signals from engaging in any crosstalk. They are also available in two different ways. They are thin coaxial cable and thick coaxial cable. And the one which is used for internet connection is known as RG58 or radio guide 58. And the one which is used for cable TV connections is known as RG59 or radio guide 59. Now let us discuss about the advantages of using coax cable. It supports more line length compared to twisted pair cable, and they are also widely used for internet connections and cable TV connections. This wire can be used both indoors and outdoors, and they are very helpful for broadband connections. Since these cables have braided metal shield, that makes it immune to eavesdropping, and they do not engage in any crosstalk, and they are also moisture repellent, which means that can be used in outdoors too. And they are inexpensive as compared to fiber optic cable, which we shall discuss soon. And again, there are few disadvantages which is associated with coax cable. Thick coax cable do not bend easily, and they are a bit difficult to connect to a terminating block. Since they do have this braided metal shield, it makes them a little inconvenient for handling outdoors. And they are expensive compared to TPC or twisted pair cable. If you have well understood about twisted pair cable and coax cable, now let us look into fiber optic cable, which is the newest form of guided media or wired media. In this form of media, signals are actually transmitted in the form of light. Yes, signals are sent with the help of light emitting diode or LED. Since this cable is made up of glass tube, each signal hits the walls of the glass tube at a similar angle, which helps them to move forward. And this cable is also available in two different modes, either in single mode or in multi-mode. Single mode supports a single bandwidth or light width, whereas multi-mode supports more bandwidth or light width. Again, why are they most preferred over coax cable and twisted pair cable? Let us look into its advantages. It offers more bandwidth compared to TPC or coax cable, since they are available in two different modes. And also they are less degraded to noise, and each signal is not degraded over longer distances, and they do not engage in any crosstalk. and there is little risk of fire since they are made up of glass tube. Since fiber optic cables are thinner and lighter, they are more convenient and easier for installation. And since the cable is made up of glass tube, it is immune to eavesdropping and they do not engage in any crosstalk over long distances compared to TPC and coax cable. And what is unique about fiber optic cable is that a single signal can run for 50 km without any amplification or regeneration, and that makes it more convenient and more efficient compared to TPC or coax cable. But before drawing a conclusion on fiber optic cable, we should also look into its disadvantages. For its installation, you actually need a highly skilled labor, which means that for maintenance too, you actually need to hire a professional to do this. And next is that it is relatively expensive as compared to either guided media. Since fiber optic cables are manufactured with the help of newest technology, it makes them relatively expensive as compared to TPC or coax cable. Since they are made up of glass, there are chances that it might break over a long period of time. As we all know, since light travels only in one direction, you actually need two fibers for bidirectional communication, which means in order to secure a connection between different networks, you actually need more number of fibers for this purpose. Now let us sum up what all we have discussed in this session. First, we discussed about how actually internet works, the various structure that forms internet, and how are these different networks connected together. So each and every time when you connect your PC to the modem, your internet service provider connect your PC to a smaller network known as POP or point of presence network, and this POP is then connected to a larger network known as NAP or network access point. And finally, these several hundred thousands of NAPs are interconnected to form internet. These several networks are connected with the help of gateways. So gateway actually connects several other dissimilar networks together. And finally, the network access point forms backbone of internet. Then we discuss how our information transferred through these networks. Each content that you have to share through internet is broken into small parts known as packets. With the help of TCP, Transmission Control Protocol, and Internet Protocol, these information or these packets are transferred to this desired location. And then we discussed about different communication media. And the first form of communication media is wired media or guided media. And they are divided into twisted pair cable, coax cable, and fiber optic cable. Twisted pair cable is available in two modes, shielded twisted pair cable and unshielded twisted pair cable. These wires are twisted into pairs to form a single wire. Twisted pair cable is available in two different variables. One is shielded twisted pair cable or STP, and the other one is unshielded twisted pair cable or UTP. Shielded twisted pair cable or STP has a metal foil around them, which gives them not just support, also makes them immune to eavesdropping for more length and makes them immune to eavesdropping for longer line length. TPC is also available in different categories. Category 1 to 5 is commonly used for Ethernet connections, whereas Category 6 is used for transmitting data of up to 200 megabits per second. And then we discuss about Category 7, which can support more than 200 megabits per second for transferring data. And next, we came across coax cable or coaxial cable. Coax cable have this special braided metal shield which not only provides rigid support but also makes it immune to eavesdropping and also makes them moisture repellent, which is why they are more convenient to use outdoors. And they are used for internet connections and cable TV connections. Since they do have this braided metal shield, it is quite a bit difficult to connect to a terminating block. And finally, we discussed about fiber optic cable, which is the newest form of guided media or wired media. In all other three cables, we made use of metallic wires in order to transmit data. Unlike other three guided media, fiber optic cable uses light in order to transfer signals from one point to the other. In fiber optic cable, each signal is sent with the help of LED. So every time when LED transmits signal in the form of light, this light hits the wall of this glass tube at a similar angle, which helps them to move forward. And what is unique about fiber optic cable is that a single signal can run for 50 km without any regeneration or amplification, and that is why they are most preferred over coax cable or TPC. And this fiber optic cable is used in the field of research and development because the signals do not engage in any crosstalk. I hope that you understood how actually internet works and also about different wired media which is used for transferring data. We shall continue our discussion on unguided media on part 2 of this session. Till then, bye bye and thank you.